Hi everyone, I'm James. I'm a senior lecturer at the University, and I want to tell you all about the PRIViot project in under 5 minutes. So first of all, this is our research team, a wonderful multidisciplinary team consisting of criminology and power systems and IoT and psychology and HCI. So what have we got planned? So what we're looking at is demand-side management technologies. So there's this promise that by allowing the smart grid to essentially be effective in how energy is managed, we can then provide savings in terms of financial savings to both the grid, but also to individuals. But of course, this means ceding control of how you manage energy in a home environment, and ceding that to IoT devices or potential smart metering devices. And what we aim to do in this project is to explore the digital harms that might arise in the interaction between these IoT home devices, demand-side management technologies, and smart meters, and develop conceptual tools that can help individuals with their situational awareness and their agency. So how are we doing this? Our first step has been to kind of see what the digital harms are that are created by IoT homes with smart meters and demand-side management technologies. And we did this through a systematic literature review. First of all, to find really that there isn't very much at all on demand-side management technologies, specifically in a home context. So the systematic review focuses predominantly on the digital harms that are created in IoT devices with smart meters. So in terms of the methodology here, what we looked at was published articles that analyzed smart home technologies, again, given our remit in the domestic context. Those that looked at privacy and security threats, again, given our remit. Those that were available in English. Data that included observations, user studies, documents and experiments, i.e. actual data, and real-world data about digital harms. So obviously that narrowed it down quite a bit. The analysis is not fully done, it's getting there. It will be done by next month, and we will be submitting it for a journal paper. And part of what we've been finding is that the type of devices that are being analyzed in the academic literature. A lot of this is probably not super surprising in that a lot of it focuses on lighting control and smart bulbs, around surveillance, so smart cameras and that sort of thing, and voice control assistants, which we've talked about before. When we look at the devices that people are actually using, so this is some of the work that we're starting as another work package, we see that it doesn't fully match necessarily. So we've got a lot of people using home voice assistants, which not surprising. But we do see a lot of people actually using smart meter displays, which is an interesting one because it's actually different to how the other IoT devices are being used and are being obtained. But there's also quite a bit on smart bulbs and smart plugs, which was an interesting one. In terms of the digital harms that have been identified, we've broken it down into this taxonomy where essentially we look at the nature of the harm, we look at the method, and we look at essentially what it's trying to do. So what we get from looking at this immediately, and again, this is obviously changed, the analysis is not fully complete, we can see that the majority of the studied harms are around cyber-dependent crimes, right? So essentially new crimes that are created specifically, that are supported specifically by online technologies, rather than cyber-enabled crimes that are essentially helping out the existing type of crimes. I do not have enough time to go into all of these in detail, but if you are interested, I'm around, Stephanie's around, and Rhiannon's around. So what next? Next, we're going to take a citizen science approach in order to understand how we can effectively communicate some of these threats and opportunities with domestic citizens. And then we're going to try and work out what the best way is to visualize some of these threats in order to support the agency of home users. Again, if you have any questions, that was a very whistle-top tour through what we've done so far in the project. Feel free to either email one of us or just in the conference. Thank you.